Hello, I'm Denise Torres, an attorney and chair of the New Mexico Judicial Performance Evaluation Commission, also known as JPEC. I'm pleased to have been a member of JPEC since 2008, and I would like to welcome everyone to the release of the 2024 evaluations. Before we begin, I'd like to thank the New Mexico State Legislature, which provides funding for JPEC to allow us to make these recommendations to voters and to get the word out through activities such as today's news conference. Our commission is made up of 7 lawyers and 8 non-lawyers from throughout New Mexico. Our members are appointed to represent various professions, backgrounds, and geographical areas of the state. Each member goes through an approval process and agrees to donate a significant amount of time in service of the Commission. Today's press conference is presented with the assistance of our Vice Chair, Attorney Lee Hunt of Santa Fe, who has been a member of our Commission since 2018. Some of our members are with us today, and I would like to take just a moment to acknowledge them. Ana Aragon, an attorney in Las Vegas who is a member of our commission from 2012 to 13 and rejoined in 2022. Stacy Blazer Clark, a social work nonprofit executive in Las Cruces who joined JPEC this year. Richard Carvajal Sr. of Belen, who was retired from the New Mexico Air National Guard and also joined JPEC this year. Philip Francisco of Farmington, a chief of police in Bloomfield and member since 2023. Gregory Gaudet, an attorney in Los Lunas and member since 2023. Nate Gentry, an attorney in Albuquerque and member since 2018. Delmas Gillis II, a senior pastor in Clovis and member since 2021. Laura Howell, a retired visual communicator in Silver City and member since 2013. Former Judge Alan Malott of Albuquerque, who joined the commission this year. Richard Reese, a promotional products business owner in Albuquerque and member since 2014. Anita Sanchez, an attorney in Rio Rancho and member since 2015. Scott Sandland, a retired journalist in Albuquerque and member since 2017. And Jeannie Watson, a long-term care executive in Carlsbad and member since 2020. In addition, I would like to thank Chelsea Cannon, our program manager, for all her hard work. I'd like to ask Lee Hunt to explain what JPEC is and why we make these recommendations to voters.
Hello, I'm Lee Hunt, and I'm pleased to join Denise Torres in explaining what we do. This marks the 14th official election in which we will be releasing our evaluations of judges who are standing for retention. The Judicial Performance Evaluation Commission was established as a volunteer commission by the Supreme Court of New Mexico for 2 purposes. First, to improve the performance of New Mexico's judges, and second, to provide useful, credible information to New Mexico's voters on all justices and judges standing for retention. We help judges improve their performance by conducting a confidential evaluation midway through their term on the bench as time permits. We put together an interim evaluation report that identifies strengths, weaknesses if any, and a plan for improvement if needed. JPEC follows up with judges on their plans, requesting information about specific actions they have taken to improve their performance. Before a general election, we again evaluate those judges who are standing for retention and who have served in their current position on the bench for at least 2 years. This time to provide meaningful and credible information to voters for use in reaching decisions. Under New Mexico law, judges standing for retention must receive 57% voter approval to remain on the bench. If a judge has not served a sufficient amount of time for us to make a recommendation, we provide biographical information to voters on that judge's experience and education. JPEC does not evaluate judges running in partisan elections. Our evaluations are based on a judge's overall performance in 4 main areas. 1, legal ability. 2, fairness. 3, communication skills, and 4, preparation, attentiveness, temperament, and control over proceedings. Denise, would you please explain the process for our evaluations?
JPEC relies on a number of information sources to evaluate judges. Confidential surveys are distributed to people who have regular contact with the judges, including court staff, other judges, attorneys, resource staff such as law enforcement and probation and parole officers, CASA volunteers, CYFD, and interpreters, and when appropriate, jurors. The surveys are administered and the results are tabulated by an independent marketing research and public opinion research company, Research and Polling. JPEC also receives statistics from the Administrative Office of the Courts for individual judges regarding caseloads, excusals, and the time it takes to get cases resolved. Each judge participates in at least one personal interview with JPEC to go over their survey results and our recommendation to the voters. If appropriate, they also discuss what steps they have taken to improve their performance and whether they are committed to continuing to work on improvements in areas of weakness identified during the earlier confidential midterm survey. Lee, would you please explain how our evaluations are communicated?
Our recommendations to voters are made available on our website, nmjpec.org, in the Evaluations section. You can search by zip code, last name of the judge, or type of court. You can see if a judge has been evaluated in the past. In addition, to make it easier for voters to remember our summary recommendations, and, if desired, print out the summary or view it in the voting booth, we have provided condensed retention reports for voters. This year there are 13 different versions, one for each judicial district. Individuals who do not have access to a computer can call our toll-free number 1-800-687-3417 to request a written copy of the voter's guides and the detailed evaluations for all elections in which they are eligible to vote. And all of this information is available in Spanish as well as English. We'll be using traditional and social media to keep voters updated and engaged between now and the upcoming election.
Over the 14 elections in which we have evaluated judges' performance, we have continued to see improvement. Judges know they are being held accountable, and our experience has been that most judges continually strive to improve their performance on the bench. They are open to our suggestions and feedback from those who utilize their courtrooms on how they can improve. We evaluated judges' overall performance because that is a fair and equitable way to assess whether or not they should remain on the bench. We take our responsibility seriously and do not make a do not retain recommendation unless the judge does not improve from their interim evaluation to their final evaluation. If their scores continue to drop or if they do not express a desire or commitment to improve. This year, JPEC is pleased to announce that all judges standing for retention eligible for an evaluation received retain recommendations. Our recommendations for statewide appellate judges this year to voters are: retain Honorable Brianna H. Zamora, Supreme Court of New Mexico. Retain Honorable Jennifer L. Atrip, Megan P. Duffy, and Shamara H. Henderson of the New Mexico Court of Appeals. Retain Honorable Brian Paul Beachide, Shannon Broderick Pullman, and Matthew Justin Wilson of the 1st Judicial District Court, serving Los Alamos, Rio Arriba, and Santa Fe counties.
Retain Honorable Denise Barella Shepard, Cindy Leos, Victor S. Lopez, Brett R. Lovelace, Elaine P. Lujan, Daniel E. Dan Ramchick, and Courtney Bryn Weeks of the 2nd Judicial District Court, serving Bernalillo County. Insufficient time to evaluate Honorable David Allen Murphy and Emeterio L. Rudolfo of the 2nd Judicial District Court, serving Bernalillo County due to the short time frame they have been on the bench. Retain Honorable Richard M. Jaquez, James T. Martin, and Conrad F. Perea of the 3rd Judicial District Court, serving Doña Ana County. Retain Honorable Floripa Flora Gallegos of the 4th Judicial District Court, serving Guadalupe, Mora, and San Miguel counties. Retain Honorable James M. Hudson and Lisa B. Riley of the 5th Judicial District Court, serving Chavez, Eddy, and Lee counties.
Insufficient time to evaluate Honorable Anne Marie Lewis of the 5th Judicial District Court, serving Chavez, Eddy, and Lee counties due to the short time frame she has been on the court. Retain Honorable James B. Jim Foy of the 6th Judicial District Court, serving Grant, Luna, and Hidalgo counties. Retain Honorable Shannon Murdoch Poff of the 7th Judicial District, serving Catron, Sierra, Socorro, and Torrance counties. Retain Honorable Jeffrey A. Jeff Shannon of the 8th Judicial District Court, serving Colfax, Taos, and Union counties. Retain Honorable Fred Travis Van Solen of the 9th Judicial District, serving Curry and Roosevelt counties. Retain Honorable Sarah V. Weaver of the 11th Judicial District Court, serving McKinley and San Juan counties. Retain Honorable Daniel A. Bryant of the 12th Judicial District Court, serving Lincoln and Otero counties. Retain Honorable Cindy M. Mercer and Alan R. Smith of the 13th Judicial District Court, serving Cibola, Sandoval, and Valencia counties. Insufficient time to evaluate Honorable Allison P. Martinez of the 13th Judicial District and serving Cibola, Sandoval, and Valencia counties due to the short time frame she has been on the court.
For the Metropolitan Court serving Bernalillo County, JPEC recommends voters retain the Honorable Felicia R. Blea Rivera, Rosemary Cosgrove Aguilar, Michelle Castillo Dowler, Azra I. Elliott, Yvette K. Gonzalez, Nina Aviva Safier, and Renee Torres.
Please remember it's important to vote in every election for which you are eligible, including the judicial retention elections. Call us toll-free at 800-687-3417 with any questions or contact us through our website, nmjpec.org. Thank you. Are there any questions?